Hi guys, welcome back. It's UK here. This afternoon I just watched a couple of vids by Blue Spruce 786 and Same Old G, Grognards and Control Freaks. I think it's pronounced Grognards. I have heard Grognards as well, so it could be either. Several years ago, after a heated discussion with a then player of mine, I had a signature that was taken from that conversation over on the forums at EM World, and it only lasted a couple of months, and then I took it down due to the amount of grief I got from people posting there. And it basically said the GM is just as, if not more so, important than the players, and it's something that I do hold to on a kind of fundamental level, if you will, when it comes to role-playing games. Because I think you have to be a control freak to be a GM. Because I think the biggest problem in this day and age is that players have a sense of entitlement which doesn't really exist. The players argue that without players the GM doesn't have a game. And I always counter that by doing the exact opposite, which is saying that without a GM, the players don't have a game. It swings and roundabouts. The GM is the person that is going to spend the money, the time, the blood, the sweat and effort to prepare and run a game. And so I think there has to be a level of control, or control freak-ishness, if you will, in there. Now, I do consider myself to a small extent a control freak. I don't have a lot of control over the real world, my life there, so I tend to get that out of being a GM, because I can prepare this world, I can prepare this campaign, this adventure, whatever, and I decide what I want in it. It's no secret I don't like options in games. I don't think you need extra base classes. I don't think you need extra feats or extra prestige classes or races or, up the wazoo. The core stuff is perfectly fine. It doesn't mean I don't use any of the extra, but I don't throw everything into a big hodgepodge. But players do have this sense of entitlement. And I think this is where the problem comes from, where you get control freak GMs. Because they're having to do that to compensate for what I think is the negative aspect of the new school role-playing. Now, I think the comment thrown on the video shown to us by Blue Spruce about tearing up of character sheets, I don't think is real. It's not in the first edition DMG. And I think it actually comes from one of these internet memes. It's the whole Conan thing about one of the best things in life, and it's to see the character sheets torn up and hear the lamentation of the players. I'm sure you're all aware of that one. That's where that's come from. I don't think I can't believe that particular individual in the video is being serious. And quite frankly, if that person was running a game and did that, I think his players would be fully what's the word? Within their rights to get up and just walk away and go, well, sod you. And you don't do that. You don't screw over your players, and you don't do stupid things like that. But I do think that the GM should have, and I think you'll find this in the older generation of role players, is that there is, the approach that we prepare the game. We spend the money on it. We put the time and effort into it. We're trying to make this as fun a game for you, the players. So the GM has to have that sense of control. Doesn't mean that you're going to have to be an asshat. Let the players have their freedom as well. We're not talking about controlling them. But I think the GM has the right to turn around, adjudicate the rules as they see fit within the framework of the game they're playing, providing that they are consistent. And I think the GM has the right to determine what classes, races, feats, spells, prestige classes, whatever, are allowable in their game world. But there you go. That's just a stream of consciousness response to watching those vids. I know it's probably not quite in keeping with what Blue Spruce was originally posting about, but that's my sort of take on the whole Grognard and Control Freak thing with us older role players, or where I think that's come from. Anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate the fact that that opinion, pardon me, if that opinion of mine isn't a popular one, because you know we are in the days of new school role playing. But you know, if you've got an opinion, agree, disagree, whatever, I'd like to see as well. So post below, and until next time, take care. Good gaming.